tease so much for buying her this boat, and then he's the one to play with it all the time. She'd be standing on the riverbank like, Daddy, is it my turn yet? So everybody kept saying he bought it for himself, not for her, and he wasn't going to own up to that, so he just said, nah, I have to learn to drive it, so I can teach him a squirrel the water ski is. And that's where the idea came from. It was totally a joke. My husband was a milk. He was always inventing things, so we made Twiggy some skis out of styrofoam when we worked with her in the water. And before long, she was water skiing. So then the local newspaper came out in our roller skating rink one day, and they were taking pictures of our skaters for the newspaper. And my husband happened to mention that they taught our squirrel how to water ski. Well, they ended up doing the first newspaper story on Twiggy, which went in the paper in May of 1979. A week later, the Orlando Sentinel hits it up. Then it hit Steve, so it went all over the world in newspapers. Then ABC came out, did the first news story on Twiggy, won an Emmy Award for the story. So they put it on Good Morning America for 4 days. He said it got the most response of any story they'd ever done. And then we get involved on Real People, and they came out. They filmed it for the first time on a water ski, which aired in the beginning of August of '79. Now later on down the road, they filmed it again on our timeline, but that's another story. Anyway, right after the first time we aired on Real People, we got bombarded with phone calls, people wanting us to do these type of shows. And we ended up doing 3 shows that first year in '79, and every year after that it's mushroomed. So now we get to travel all over the world with me. We've been as far as Paris, France, and Germany, and Bermuda, all over the United States, and all over Canada doing shows with Twiggy. Now, some of you may have seen her on TV. She's been on quite a few television shows over the years. I don't know what, but y'all get the same shows we do. We got some of the same stores. But anyway, things like the Rosie O'Donnell Show, Wayne Brady, Late Night with David Letterman. She's even been on quite a few game shows, like she was even on American Idol and America's Got Talent. She's been in about 5 movies now. She's been in some commercials. The latest ones, I don't think the Ford commercial is actually aired yet. Did a Ford commercial, Kmart commercial, California Walnuts commercial. We may even sing Twiggy. Any of y'all know who Brad Paisley is, the country western singer? Well, Twiggy number 8, we're going to have him out after the show, is the star of Brad Paisley's Riverbank video. So you can just Google that. But she's even in the encyclopedia. She's even in a hospital psychology book all over the United States on her hang glider. And I found out from a college professor, she's even in the college level psychology books on her water skis. So I guess that means we're really crazy. So we're going to get crazy. We're going to put your water ski for you. Coach's got the boat ready. Now we want Twiggy to be nice and safe. So we got our boat driver and our spotter in the boat, just like the big boys do when they wakeboard or water ski. And they both have life jackets on. So what do you think, kids? Do you think Twiggy needs a life jacket? Yeah! Yeah, look at here. We got squirrels size. Yeah, Twiggy, she's going to wear her life jacket. She wants to know how many of y'all wear your life jackets when you're on the boat. Good job, good job. You know what, kids? It's required by law that anytime you're on a boat, you have to have that life jacket on the whole time you're on the boat. So you can't give your mom and dad a hard time, they'll get in trouble. Adults, this required by law that you have them on the boat nice and handy. But we want to encourage you to wear them all the time, like you wear your seat belts in your car all the time, just in case. Because chances are, if you need that life jacket, you won't be able to reach it. And most likely just going to forget about them altogether. I've been told of a lot of accidents where people that jumped in, they saved a drowning person. And both of them didn't make it, or one of them didn't make it. So y'all remember to know those life jackets. So you come home nice and safe. All right, you kids, I know there's somebody over here touching the water. I know you want to see if we've got warm water for Twiggy. And yes, they got us warm water for Twiggy. So y'all go ahead and touch the water if you want to. All right, now I want you to take your hands out, put them behind the liner, back behind the liner, and I want you to keep them out for the duration of the show. Twiggy will work an extended arm, but we want her to come to mommy. We don't want her to scare you, and we don't want you to scare her. So keep your hands back, and some of the little ones forget. Some of you next door to them just kind of help us out a bit, if you would. Alright, now the first part of the show, we're doing a ski demonstration for you, then we're going to show you how Twiggy can swim. Then we're going to show you how she can count, and I'm taking a helper in that part of the show. You get a free poster and a picture with Twiggy for being my helper in that part of the show. Alright, Twiggy. Okay. Now this first portion of the show, Twiggy wants to demonstrate for you the correct way to water ski. For those of you that are interested in learning, she's got a few pointers for you before you get on the water. Now just like Twiggy, the first thing you might want to do when you get out there on the water is brush your hair and get all nice and pretty. Twiggy, she's about 90% ham and only 10% squirrel. She sees y'all out there taking her pictures. She wants to get pretty for those cameras. Any pictures you take or whatever, if you, all Twiggy's social media is at Twiggy's Lagoon. And also, if you look on the sides, the show has, okay, I'm not good at this. Y'all supposed to do this part. Alright, we're going to bring Twiggy on around and pick her up. There you go. Good job, Twiggy. Okay. Alright, any pictures you take, look at the signs, and on the bottom of the signs that tell you where to put your pictures for the photo show, because they want to see all your pictures. Alright, so anyway, this part of the show, we toss it in for the kids. Y'all want to know if Twiggy can swim. Twiggy can swim real well, but she wants to know how many you can swim. Good, guys. Good, look at those hands. Now she wants to know how many you can float. You float too?
Sort of.
I see a lot of hands up, but some of them went down. Well, you know what? Twiggy and I are on a mission. We want everybody to have fun and be safe on the water. So we want you all to learn to swim. You got to take the swimming lessons, and they're going to teach you how to float. But we're going to just explain to you how easy it is to float. Because a lot of people think it's so hard, and it's not. It's so easy. So I'm going to have all you kids help me with this little demo, okay? All you kids, I want you to take a deep breath. Now, what are you breathing in when you take a deep breath? Air. Air. So, how many of you ever blown up an inner tube to float on in the water? What do you blow into that inner tube? Air. So, what do you think is making the inner tube float? Air. So, what do you think is going to make you float? Air. Air. That's right. So, I'll tell you what. It's so easy to float. All you got to do is get in about a foot of water, take a deep breath. Get the air in your lungs, and just do a little back bend in the water, and you will float. Do it in shallow water at first, so you can be nice and relaxed. You have to be relaxed. That's one of the secrets. Be relaxed when you try to learn to float. But try it first in shallow water, so you can sit down or put your feet down if you get nervous while you try to learn. But it takes zero energy to float. You can float forever. So Twiggy wants you all to learn to float and help you be safer, okay? All right, Twiggy, for those in this part, I get to go swimming. Yeah, now we got to use my tail as a rudder. Not at all wet. All right, Twiggy, we're going to bring you in, get you all dry. We're going to go on so that you know how to count. Twiggy. Twiggy's letting you guys know she's in control of the show, not Mom. Okay, Twiggy, come on, we're gonna, Twiggy. And no, I ain't done yet. All right, Twiggy. Uh-oh, no, we're really getting in trouble. Come on, Twiggy. We're gonna have to find this and she wants to be here all day. So she loves the water. Y'all love the water? Yeah! Yeah, Twiggy. She'll be here all day. All right, now this last part, I love this part. I started doing this. I was watching TV. They were teaching monkeys to count by stroking on their belly. So we worked with Twiggy. She can count, probably about the 10, but just for time's sake in the show. We let somebody pick between 3 and 5 laps, and you get a free poster and a picture with Twiggy after the show. Who wants to help me? Anyway, yeah, little girl last time. Will you be my helper? What's your name? Ryan. You get to be the first one to pet Twiggy. We're gonna let everybody else pet Twiggy after the show. We're gonna do pictures with the one that did the Brad Paisley Riverbank video. All right. So how many? Oh, okay. Here's your poster. You bring it up and we'll sign it for you after the show, okay? You get the picture of the Twiggy. Holding pictures, how about that? Picture holding Twiggy. All right. So how many laps do you want Twiggy to go? 3, 4, or 5? 4? All right, you're making it hard on me. She wants to be out there all day. Well, I'm hung up close like that. All right, kids, you gotta help me count. Riley wants Twiggy to go 4 laps. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way to mom. Okay, you ready? Okay. Little kisses for luck. Alrighty. And hit it, Twiggy. All right, I'm going to count for Twiggy each lap as she goes around. My fingers will be right next to her, but we don't want her to come off too early. That's your first lap. Make it Twiggy. Are you listening? You didn't look like you were paying attention. This is your second lap. Now you got 2 more. 1, 2.